Welcome back for another round of all your favorite Atari 2600 games. There is a lot of great ones in this video today, so let's get started. Number 1, Freeway. Why did the chicken cross the road? To earn some points, of course. This Frogger-like game where you have to get your chicken across the many busy freeways is quite the interesting game. You can only move up and down, but when you get hit by a vehicle, you get knocked back. There are 8 different freeways to choose from, and they are very oddly specific locations in the instructions as to what freeways they are and at what time of day it is, as you can see here. This can be played as either a single-player game or a competitive 2-player game. Each one of the freeways presents a different challenge, as I will go through all of them here. I can see why many of you love this game, as it would have been a fun competitive 2-player game against your friends. Number 2, Chopper Command. Chopper Command is very similar to Defender, as you have a left or right scrolling play area and a radar to help you see what's ahead. With your guns a-blazing, you take down many enemy aircraft. It is pretty much a non-stop action arcade classic. I was playing the game in cadet mode, and I really didn't do that well. So, I tried to play the game in commander mode, and well, it was game over in 700 points. So any of you out there that could whoop it up on any level, many kudos to you and to your prestigious skills. Number 3, Berzerk. This home version of Berzerk is not too bad of a port to the Atari 2600. No, it doesn't have the digitized robot voices like in the arcade in this side-by-side comparison, but if you love playing the arcade, I could see why you would love playing this at home on the Atari. It definitely channeled the spirit of the game pretty well in gameplay and looks. Number 4, Space Attack. Many of the commenters said they enjoyed Space Attack on the Atari, and after playing it, I can see why. This is another space battle sim similar to Star Master. You have to move your attack squadrons into position to battle the alien fleets. There's a little bit of missile command action when leading your targets when you take your shots. And when you blow up an alien ship, you may have a chance to take out one that's too close to the explosion. Space Attack has a lot going on for it, as you can coordinate your attacks with your 3 squadrons using a unique set of commands with the joystick and the radar mode to then enter the combat with the fleet. All in all, a pretty great game to play. Number 5, Mario Brothers. Now, for all of you fans out there of the classic Mario Bros. Arcade game, the Atari version of the game did not disappoint. Yes, graphically it was inferior to the arcade or the ColecoVision, but the gameplay was pretty spot on, and it would have satisfied any itch to play a good game of Mario Bros., and this was another great choice of the fan favorites. Funny how it's a bit like Smash Bros., but instead of taking each other out, you keep the other one from getting points. Number 6, Miss Pacman. Now, here is how it started and how it's going for sure. Miss Pacman for the Atari 2600 is head over heels better than the original Atari Pacman, as you can see here in the side-by-side comparison. Technically, I never hated the original Pacman on the Atari, but I can understand the frustration with it. Aesthetically, Miss Pacman looks and feels more like its arcade counterpart, as where the Atari Pacman didn't seem to fit the bill. It is plain to see why Miss Pacman is more beloved. Number 7, Jungle Hunt. This arcade classic to Atari Jim is quite amazing. Though it is not quite true to its arcade counterpart, it is still a challenging game to play. I never played either version of this game until now, but I can see the appeal to all of you many fans out there. I was impressed with its multi-level gameplay, just as it is in the arcade, and mastering each area would have kept me playing Jungle Hunt over and over again. Thanks to everyone out there who suggested this one to me as one of their favorites. Number 8, Circus Atari. Take an Atari paddle and some elements of Breakout with a little twist, and you've got Circus Atari. Instead of hitting a ball at the wall, you have 2 acrobats launching each other into moving balloons to pop them. And then you get the acrobat to hit the teeter-totter to launch the other one back up into the moving balloons. This is one of those easy to learn and hard to master games, and I would dare to say it is quite a bit of fun. I hadn't played this one before either, and it was a joy to play it on my Atari 2600 Junior. Number 9, Kaboom! Here's another Atari paddle game I never got to play, and I can say this. It reminds me of many of the fun-to-pass-the-time style phone app games we currently have out there. With its simplistic gameplay but precision accuracy you need to beat each wave, the challenge is always waiting for whoever is ready to fire up the game. Kaboom would have pushed me to try and do better each time I gave the game a try. Kudos to Activision for this unique and fun game to play. And now, number 10, Solaris. The year was 1986, and this absolute marvel of an Atari game was released. Unfortunately, by this time, I had lost my original Atari to a terrible thunderstorm, so I had moved on to the NES by this time in my life, so I have never seen this game. A coworker of mine had this game growing up, and he always talked about it, but I never really looked into it until this video. I can see why everybody loved this game. It is a space fighting sim with graphics I have never seen before on Atari. Going from the star map and jumping through space to fighting on the planet's surfaces, and as well as in space. This game had to be pushing the limits of the Atari, and with its late release date, the developers had done such an amazing job making this game look like it was running on something other than the Atari. This goes to show you that even when you think you've seen everything that can be done on a system, someone comes along and blows you away. I can see why this game deserves to be on many of your top games lists for the Atari 2600. This wraps up another edition of the Commenters Top 10 Atari 2600 games. I hope to work on another one soon, and I hope to see you all back here again at the DI. I look forward to seeing you in the next video, but until then, Digital Infinity out.